What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network. And if you're new to the channel, y'all please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us to continue doing what we do and making content. Now on with the video. Y'all, the trailer dropped yesterday, and people were excited. I felt a nostalgia trip like I haven't felt in decades. Seeing the past couple of weeks has reignited the flame for the love of Dragon Ball. I've always loved it, y'all. But now I feel like I did watching it for the first time. And I know watching back Super, Dragon Ball Super, I felt the same way. But this is on a completely different level because finally we have a game that basically every Dragon Ball fan that loves playing Dragon Ball games, love the anime, the manga, everything, has been dreaming to have. And we have it now. An open world action RPG Dragon Ball. But yet and still, there's always those who aren't happy. I won't create a character. I want Xenoverse 3. I'm not buying this game. Let me inform you on why this game is the best thing that could happen to the Dragon Ball fandom. That includes the anime watchers, the manga, and the video games, the complete fandom. Why this game is the best thing that could happen for us right now. Okay? So first of all, Dragon Ball Super exploded about 2 years ago, and it's so super hyped everybody up. And you drew in some new fans. And those new fans, while they knew what was going on in Super, they didn't fully understand the full backstory of what was going on. The same way that somebody like me, I started watching Dragon Ball Z, I had to go back and watch Dragon Ball whenever it came out in the Western world so that I could better understand Dragon Ball Z. And it gave me a better appreciation for Dragon Ball Z. It gave me more understanding of why a lot of things were the way they were. Okay, so the same thing is happening now. You have a group of people, group of fans, young and old, who are just now getting into Dragon Ball, and they're presented with Dragon Ball Super. And they're into Super, so now they want to go back to Z to understand where it all started. And then they're going to have to go back to Dragon Ball. And guess what? They don't have a game to play. They're watching Dragon Ball Z and they're like, wow, I would like to play that in a game. Guess what? They don't have that. They can't put in Xenoverse and play the story of Dragon Ball Z. They can't put in Dragon Ball Fighters and do that. There is not a game out right now that has the story. Yes, we've had it in the past, but not like this. This game is coming at the perfect time because you have new people coming to the Dragon Ball fandom, and now you're giving them something to play, something to enjoy, and something to immerse themselves in. Not only that, but you're reviving. You're igniting the nostalgia within the fans like myself who've been fans for over 20 years, who remember playing through the story, who enjoy playing through the story, but now we get to play through it a different way, a way that's more immersive and evolving in an open world game. Wow. Let that sink in for a second. So you're growing the fandom and you're bringing in new people to the fandom. This game is perfect for this point in time. And this is going to take this to a completely new level. So don't be upset because it's no creative character. We didn't even learn all the details. For all we know, it could be. It could be an online part where you can create a character. I personally don't think so. The reason I don't think there is because what this game is meant to do. This game is meant to give the new fans of the Dragon Ball fandom a game to kind of let them play through the history of Dragon Ball, to learn about Goku, learn about Dragon Ball Z, learn about why Super is the way that it is and where the things came from in Super that they came from. It's also there for the older generation like myself who's grown up watching Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, who've seen GT, who've seen it all, who've watched Super, and who just want that bit of nostalgia to make that flame burn even harder for the series. You see what I'm saying? And from a video game standpoint, this is the best thing that could happen to you if you are a Dragon Ball Xenoverse fan, and let me explain why. Bandai Namco struck up a deal with Shueisha that they have to release a game every year. If they don't, then they can end up losing the exclusive license to make Dragon Ball games. Okay? So with that being said, if you are a fan of Xenoverse, this game is the best thing that could have happened to you. Because to make a great game, the changes that people want to see in Xenoverse and other games, it takes more than a year to do that. It takes more than 2 years to get a true change in a game. So by this game coming out, it's buying the developers that make Xenoverse more time to make the game that you want. And just imagine, you're still playing Xenoverse probably now. How would you feel playing Xenoverse for an entire year again? Well, actually, it'll probably be 2 years because Xenoverse wasn't coming out this year. So it would be next year. And if it was next year, it'd probably be around February or in the fall. So you're looking at a year to a year and a half more of nothing to give you that fresh breath of air. You see what I'm saying? This game for you Xenoverse players is a breath of fresh air. This game for you Xenoverse players is a vacation trip away from the slumber and slop of work. You see what I'm saying? This is your honeymoon. This is your vacation. This is your time off. This game will be fun. This game will be interesting. Play it. Enjoy it. Why? Because it's going to give you a rest from constantly thinking about Xenoverse 3. And by the time you're done with this game or done enjoying what the game has to offer, guess what? Here comes an announcement trailer for Xenoverse 3. And then after that, probably an announcement for Dragon Ball FighterZ 2. And then after that, the next rendition of this game. And the cycle will continue on and on and on. This game is giving them more time to develop better games. So don't look at it as, I don't want this, I want Xenoverse 3. If Xenoverse 3 came out right now, it would be crap. It would be crap because they have nothing to build on. The lag codes, the net codes would still be laggy. Online play would still be garbage. There wouldn't be any immersion to the story. They don't even have a story. They told the same story this year that they did last time in Xenoverse 1. And everybody wants to create a character this, create a character that. If you put create a character into this game, it is no longer a Dragon Ball Z game. It's a Xenoverse game. Why? Because where's your guy going to come from? He's going to change the timeline. So it's going to be another Dragon Ball game with an altered timeline. You see what I'm saying? Yes, we're going back through the story, but we're not going back through the story the same way. We're playing through the story a completely different way. We're playing through the story, first of all, in an open world. When is the last time you've played an open world RPG Dragon Ball game? Don't worry, I'll wait. Legacy of Goku, Dragon Ball Sagas, those weren't even true open world games. While they were good in their own right, Sagas, not so much. This game is completely different. This game is what every Dragon Ball fan has ever wanted since we've picked up a controller to play a Dragon Ball game. Since we've played Budokai 2 and 3, where you're flying around in the open world setting, sort of open world, open map setting in Budokai 3. And the graphics look phenomenal. And on top of that, we have Cyber Connect 2, which is, in my opinion, the king of anime games. Yeah, some of y'all may not like some of the stuff that's in Ninja Storm and this and that, but this is not that. They are going to learn from their mistakes with this game. You know that that company is going to take pride in this game because they are known for making anime games. It's not like Atari when they made the, the old Dragon Ball games. It's not like Atari, who didn't have a lot of experience with anime games. You want somebody to make your game that understands what that game is about, which is Dragon Ball Z, that understands the anime, that understands the manga, that understands the community. They know what to deliver to people. And guess what? This game is success. Hey, you might have Cyber Connect 2 make Xenoverse 3. Might be a pretty good thing. This game is the best thing that could happen to the fandom right now. Because Dragon Ball Super is so popular right now. Dragon Ball Super Broly, extremely popular. Then you got Dragon Ball Heroes coming over to the Switch. Dragon Ball Super Heroes coming to the Nintendo Switch. You got Season 2 DLC coming out for Dragon Ball FighterZ. You got more DLC coming out for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. And then you got this game. Man, the best thing in the world is having choices in anime and games, and especially in the gaming world, having choices of different types of Dragon Ball games to play. Then guess what? You're not going to get burnt out. If I have different types of Dragon Ball games to play that all give me different experiences, guess what? I'm not going to be burnt out on any of those games because I'm going to play I'm going to play Project Z whenever I want some open world, casually doing stuff, playing as Goku and other characters if possible. And then if I want to play with my creator character, I can pop in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And then if I feel like just fighting, I can pop in Dragon Ball Fighters. If I want a turnstile card based kind of thing, I can get on the Switch and play Dragon Ball Superheroes. Superheroes, whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? Each time it gives you a breath of fresh air. But if the only thing out is Dragon Ball Xenoverse, you are going to get burned out on it. But now with this game, it's feeding off of the flame of Dragon Ball that's already ignited. It's bringing in new people. It's growing the fandom. So that means more sales of the games. And that's, guess what? More games. And the more games we have, the higher chance of you to get that perfect game that you've always wanted. People like myself have waited almost 20 years for a game like this. Xenoverse has been out for what, 2-4 years? And people are complaining and stuff. Come on, man. If you are a true fan of Dragon Ball Z, you should be ecstatic about this game. Not even if it's not because, hey, I want to play it, but because what this game means to the Dragon Ball community. This game is saying that more Dragon Ball games are coming. This game is saying that the fandom is growing. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing for games. That's a good thing for the anime, which they are bringing back. That's already confirmed. That's a good thing for movies. The Dragon Ball Z Broly movie sold so well, they're going to do another one and they're going to release it in the States. That didn't used to be a thing. Dragon Ball games used to only release over in Japan. And they would do a dub, but it never would go in theaters. We're going to start getting theatrical releases of Dragon Ball games because it makes money. Money talks, man. I'm super excited for this game. You should be too. This is the best thing that could ever happen to Dragon Ball fans. That's all I got for right now. Till next time, thanks for watching.